Hello, beautiful people. If I seem a bit tired, is because I was to a biking ride today. I don't know what to call it. All right, but let's read about task number 2 inside defensive introduction to defensive security, which is inside the module introduction to cybersecurity. Task number 2, digital forensics process. We see here the same picture that we saw in here, but it's a bit after it's messed up like after a crime or something. You can see spilled coffee, you can see messed up things here, but you still see electronic devices, messages, and things like that. As a digital forensics investigator, you arrive at a scene similar to the one shown in the image above. What should you do as a digital forensics investigator after getting the proper legal authorization? The basic plan goes as follows. Acquire the evidence, collect the digital devices such as laptops, store devices, and digital cameras. Note that laptops and computers require special handling if they are turned on. However, this is outside the scope of this room. Establish a chain of custody. Fill out the related form appropriately. Here we have a sample form. I will not save this file. Let me see. Here you can see down there, you can go to the following URL and you can check out the sample form. The purpose is to ensure the only authorized investigators have access to the evidence and no one could have tampered with it. Place the evidence in a secure container. You want to ensure that the evidence does not get damaged. In the case of smartphones, you want to ensure that they cannot access the network so they don't get wiped remotely. Transport the evidence to your digital forensics lab. At the lab, the process goes as follows. Retrieve the digital evidence from the secure container. Create a forensic copy of the evidence. The forensic copy requires advanced software to avoid modifying the original data. Return the digital evidence to the secure container. You will be working on the copy. This is very important, so you don't mess up the original data. The original data remains the same, and you work on the copy. If you damage the copy, you can always create a new one. Start processing the copy on your forensics workstation. The above steps have been adopted from Guide to Computer Forensics and Investigations, 6th edition. Amazing. If you want to buy this book and read more about digital forensics, you can buy the textbook and access the ebook. More generally, according to the former director of the Defense Computer Forensics Laboratory, Ken Zatiko, digital forensics includes proper search authority. Investigators cannot commence within the proper legal authority. Chain of custody. This is necessary to keep track of who was holding the evidence at any time. Validation with mathematics. Using a special kind of mathematics function called a hash function can be confirmed that a file has not been modified. Use of validated tools. The tools used in digital forensics should be validated to ensure that they work correctly. For example, if you are creating an image of a disk, you want to ensure that the forensic image is identical to the data on the disk. Repeatability. The findings of digital forensics can be reproduced as long as the proper skills and tools are available. I mean, if the proper tools are in place, you can basically do whatever you want. Reporting. The digital forensics investigation is concluded with a report that shows the evidence related to the case that was discovered. Answer the questions below. It is essential to keep track of who is handling it at any point in time to ensure that evidence is admissible in the court of law. What is the name of the documentation that would help establish that? Here you can see, as I told you, the form, custody, chain of custody. Fill out the related form appropriately. The purpose is to ensure that only the authorized investigators. All right, I will say chain of custody. Correct.